All right, so I wanted to take a moment to put some motion to the videos that to the images that I have so far provided via email. And with that in mind, we'll get to the demonstration here. On the screen before you, you've got a Databricks notebook, Microsoft Azure Databricks notebook, and I have enabled this notebook with Snowflake's Snowpark API. And in this demo, we're going to walk through the process through which I went to invoke that enablement. So first off, in the first cell, you can see that I'm going to pip install a few libraries, the Python Connect, the Snowflake connector for Python with Pandas support, the Snowflake Snowpark Python library, and finally the Pandas library for local data frame support. So we'll go ahead and run this. I've already done it, but for the sake of demonstration, I'll rerun this again. Shouldn't take very long as my Databricks compute is already running. All right, so that has completed. We'll go ahead down to our next cell. And in this cell, I'm going to go ahead and get my credentials, my Snowflake credentials from the Microsoft Azure Key Vault. And I've got a number of things here. In addition to authentication credentials, you'll notice that I'm also going to get my Snowflake warehouse, my schema, my role, and the database to which I want to connect. So pretty straightforward. Note that you need to create a secret scope here in Databricks in order to link it back to the Microsoft Azure Key Vault. But for established Azure customers, Azure and Databricks customers, they're very likely to have already done that, but I thought I'd call it out just in case. So we'll go ahead and run this as well for the sake of the demo. And in the next cell, I'm simply creating a Python dictionary with my authentication and default access parameters. And I'm going to use this dictionary to pass to the Snowflake Snowpark session creation method. So we'll go ahead and run this. All right, and I've got my dictionary established. And now I'm actually ready to get some work done. So we'll go ahead and import the Snowpark session module and then create a session based upon it. So I'll run this cell. Got my session established, and now I'm able to begin querying Snowflake via my Databricks notebook here. So go ahead and run this cell, and what you'll see is I'll issue the show tables SQL command, and that'll come back with a list of tables to which I have access on Snowflake as a part of the role that I'm using by default. And now that I know what tables I can access, we'll go ahead and do some quote-unquote real work here, and we'll query one of those tables and then show the contents. Again, we'll go ahead and run this cell, and our output will be representative of the contents of that table. In this case, this happens to be some data that that represents my household's Uber Eats activity over a period of time, which is pretty interesting. If you haven't gotten your data from Uber, highly recommended that you do so. It's pretty interesting to be able to run some analysis on that and understand the habits of the household. But I digress. And so finally, in this last cell, we're going to go ahead and on the data frame that we got previously, which is a Snowpark data frame, we're going to go ahead and make use of the toPandas method on that Snowpark data frame, which is going to give us a localized data frame, or a data frame that exists on the Databricks compute. And at that point, we can take that data frame and do whatever we'd like with it. So again, we'll go ahead and run this. You can see that I've already done this previously, but go ahead and go through the process here for the sake of the demonstration. Call the info method on that data frame, and you can see what the structure of it looks like, how much memory it consumes, all the things that you're used to being able to do with a Python/Pandas data frame. And that's about it. In this demonstration, we showed you how to enable a Databricks notebook with Snowflake's Snowpark API, query data on Snowflake without moving that data outside of Snowflake, and then finally, if the need dictates, going ahead and calling the toPandas method on that Snowpark data frame to convert it or bring data to a localized Pandas data frame for further computation and analysis. Hope you found this useful. We look forward to continuing the conversation and hope you make it a great day.